Welcome to the LDN radio show, brought to you by the LDN Research Trust. I'm your host, Linda Elseygood. I have an exciting lineup of guest speakers who are LDN experts in their field. We will be discussing low-dose Naltrexone and its many uses in autoimmune diseases, cancers, etc. Thank you for joining us. This show is sponsored by our members who made donations. We'd like to give them a very big thank you. We have to cover the monthly costs of the radio station's software, bandwidth, phone lines and phone calls to be able to continue with the radio show. And thank you for listening. The LDN conference is available to everyone, regardless where you live in the world. Fast internet is required. We have an amazing lineup of LDN experts giving presentations and answering your questions. This is a unique conference not to be missed. You can join us either via the live stream at a time to suit you or in person. The presentations will be available online for 12 months, allowing you to watch as many times as you like at times to suit you. Check out www.ldn2017.com. Any questions, please email me ldn2017.linda@gmail.com. Today my guest is Amy from the United States, who uses LDN for stiff person syndrome, Sjogren syndrome, and pituitary hyperthyroidism. Thank you for joining me today, Amy.
You're very welcome.
So, could you tell our listeners when you first noticed that there was something wrong with you? How old were you?
I was 46, and I am 51 now.
Okay. So, not too long, really.
No.
No. So, what did you notice at that time initially?
I was an athlete, and I just started noticing like really bad pain in my torso and my pelvis, and couldn't really figure out what was wrong. Thought it was something orthopedic because I was such an athlete, and everybody was saying like, oh, you just run too much, or whatever. And then, it started to sort of progress up my spine, into my neck, my arm. And so I went from doctor to doctor to doctor at Cleveland Clinic, which I lived near there at the time. And they just no one could figure out what was wrong with me, why my muscles were doing what they were doing, why I was in pain all the time. Really, I went to every type of doctor that there is, and just with, no. And so I was just so frustrated because the pain was getting worse and nobody could figure out what was wrong with me.
Mm-hmm. So what did you do next?
Well, one day I had given up on neurologists, because though everyone said, you obviously had some sort of neurological issue, I had seen so many bad ones that just totally dismissed me. I was like, okay, I'm not going to anymore. But then, someone convinced me that there was this really nice one at Cleveland Clinic, and I waited a year to see him.
Wow.
And when I went in and told him my symptoms, and he looked at me and examined me, he said to me, I could have diagnosed you in the parking lot with my eyes closed.
Really?
And then, yes. And then he took the blood, one of the blood tests that's a marker for stiff person syndrome, and it came back positive. And I was just blown away that he actually saw it and then, did the testing. So it was pretty amazing.
Oh, that is amazing, isn't it? Well worth the
Yes,
12-month wait. So,
exactly.
yeah. So, what treatment plan did he put in place for you?
Well, ironically, right now I am getting my very first IVIG infusion, and that's what for stiff person syndrome. There's no cure. What they've found is these IVIG infusions can slow the progress. Doesn't work for everybody, but this is my first one today, so I'm sitting here getting infused while I'm talking to you.
Oh, I'm told that they're very expensive. Is it covered by your
They are.
insurance?
It is, thank God, covered by my
Good.
insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's very good.
But the LDN, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you want to know where that came in?
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
Okay, so in the process of going to all of those doctors, the orthopedic doctor that I was going to see, he was confused. He was like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but I am going to send you to this osteopath that she thinks way outside the box, so maybe she can help you. Well, I went. Her name is Dr. Katrina Rakowski. So I went to her, and she was just like amazed. She was intrigued, I think, with what was going on with me, and she would do osteopathic things on me to help. You know, it wasn't curing anything, but she was trying to figure out what was wrong in the meantime. This was before the neurologist, and so finally, even though I didn't have a diagnosis, she said to me, you know what, I think you should try this LDN. And I'm like, what's that? And she said, well, I've had some success with other people in my practice that sort of look like you, but it could not hurt. So I was like, sure, I'm all in. And really, like, that, she, wrote me the prescription, and I got it at a compounding pharmacy in Florida. And I was literally blown away because, no, it didn't cure me, but it allowed me to have, like, at least a little bit of a quality of life as I went through and went from doctor to doctor to try to figure out what was wrong with me. So, and to this day, I still take it.
Mm-hmm. What difference did it make to you taking the LDN?
Initially it seemed to exacerbate all my symptoms. Like initially, like maybe I'm not sure how many days, maybe 4 or 5 days. And I called the pharmacist, and he was like, look, just wait it out and see what happens. And he was right. So what it seems to do is, I can't really explain it, but it with stiff person syndrome, as soon as you try to exercise or contract a muscle or whatever, you get very rigid and your muscles just like lock up. What the LDN seems to do, and I have absolutely no idea why, but it allows me to be able to exercise, and the lockup is not nearly as bad. So before LDN, I cried every single day because there was just like nothing was helping. And then when I went on the LDN, it helped my mood. Eventually it helped my sleep, and it allowed me this this ability to exercise. And so I was thrilled to that.
Mm-hmm. That sounds amazing, doesn't it? So if you had to say your quality of life on a score of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, before you started LDN, what would it have been?
Before LDN?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Oh, I would say 3.
Wow. And what would you say it is now?
I would say I would like it to be more now, but I like I said, I don't believe LDN is a cure for stiff person syndrome, but I believe that it brings me from a 3 up to like a 6 or a 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have actually spoken to people before with stiff person syndrome who have said that LDN has helped. With your Sjogren's, did you have dry eyes?
Yes. I did. I did a little bit, not a ton. My Sjogren symptoms are not extreme at all, so not a lot.
And are they any better than they were before LDN?
Yes, I definitely believe they are, because they were really like itching and burning. I couldn't understand why they felt like that, but yes, they are definitely better.
Mm-hmm. And getting round to your thyroid condition, what impact has the LDN had on that?
I am not sure, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if the LDN has, I think my endocrinologist is still trying to figure me out when it comes to, so they keep changing my level of medication. So to be honest, I do not know if the LDN has had an impact on that or not.
Okay. Have your thyroid levels dropped since being on LDN, or the amount of medication you need dropped?
No.
How long have you?
It hasn't.
Sorry, how long have you been on LDN now?
Let's see. I have been sick for 5 years, and I've been on LDN, I'd say 2.5 years.
Okay, a fair while.
Yeah.
And do you have blood tests taken regularly?
I do.
You do. Okay. Well, when you, just out of curiosity, when you were saying about being stiff, is it like your muscles go into spasms that make them really...
Some of them, yes. Some of them do. Some of them will be like an immediate, very sharp spasm. And then there's the other thing that's just like overall locking. Like you cannot move. Like yesterday, I had a fall, and I'm sitting here with bandages all over my face because for some reason, my legs and arms immediately locked, and I fell over like a brick and smacked my head against the pavement. So, yeah, now that I went to the ER, and I'm just pretty much a mess today, but, yeah, that's it. They behave very erratically.
Yeah. Well, that sounds awful, doesn't it? I mean, I have MS, and sometimes I can still get muscle spasms that maybe in my calf is a really good example, and it just goes really, really tight, and it takes my breath away. It hurts so much, and can take an hour or so before it releases, and then for days afterwards that muscle is so sore. And I was just wondering if you experienced something similar to that.
Yes, I experienced that too.
And it's very painful, isn't it? Very, very painful.
Yes, it is. And that's the other reason I like the LDN, is that I personally, with pain medication, almost all of it makes me nauseous and sick. Yep. And LDN does not do that. And so you get the benefit of the pain relief without the, throwing up.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because pain medications do exactly the same to me. And I can remember lying in bed feeling so ill and in so much pain, but it was a trade-off. I'd got the pills that would dim the pain, wouldn't take the pain away, but the nausea was so bad that I couldn't move because I would throw up. So then it was a case of waiting to where you sort of said, no, I can't take the pain, I've got to take the painkillers. Then after you've taken them, thinking, you know what, I wish I'd never taken them, because now I feel so nauseous. So it's a balance for some people. Obviously, some people can take pain medications better than others, but I'm one of the ones that can't. So,
me too.
Yeah, but still, they're not good for you anyway. So that's what I tell myself. Yes, exactly.
And that's like the LDN is really amazing, and I take a relatively small dose too. And so I think it sounds like, but it's so individual. The other people I talk to, some people take 4.5 or more than that, and I only take 2 milligrams, and always have. I tried to go up, and then it just I didn't like what it felt like, so I just went back down.
Mm-hmm. But maybe after a while, I mean, do you have liquid or capsules, tablets?
I have capsules, yeah.
But maybe after a while, if you tried 2.5 and just see, by just tweaking it just a little bit, you might be able to go up higher and get better benefits. It might be something to discuss with your LDN prescriber.
Yes, ironically, I had just discussed that with her, and she got me some small 0.5 capsules, so that when I decide, I can kind of go up and experiment with it. So yeah, I'm so like blessed to have her, who will listen, who understands LDN, and will do something like that. So I'm thinking about it.
That's a really good idea. Well, thank you very much for sharing your story with us, and I really look forward to speaking to you again.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much.
This show is sponsored by our members who made donations. We'd like to give them a very big thank you. We have to cover the monthly costs of the radio station's software, bandwidth, phone lines and phone calls to be able to continue with the radio show. And thank you for listening. The LDN conference is available to everyone, regardless where you live in the world. Fast internet is required. We have an amazing lineup of LDN experts giving presentations and answering your questions. This is a unique conference not to be missed. You can join us either via the live stream at a time to suit you or in person. The presentations will be available online for 12 months, allowing you to watch as many times as you like at times to suit you. Check out www.ldn2017.com. Any questions, please email me ldn2017.linda@gmail.com.